Rod, 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 Rod,
Herbito.
Rod. We are 5 games down, or what? 4? How many games we played so far? Ravens,
4.
Steelers. 4 games. 4 games.
Yeah.
It's a wild card weekend. We have the game that we're going to be coincide with right now, which is Bucks
Commanders,
and
Bucks.
Commandos. All in all, man, I ain't gonna lie. This has been, regardless of these games being absolute blowouts for the most part, I have really, really enjoyed this wild card weekend a lot. This is giving us the future of what the NFL is going to be. And this wild card weekend showed that even within playoff teams, there is a clear line of demarcation on who the good teams are and who are not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's good teams, and then there's everybody else. And not Eagles, Packers notwithstanding, because I don't know what either team is, bro. Like, the Eagles are ultimately going to win that game, and they did win that game, but I'm not any kind of confident about them at all. But on the AFC side, man, you got the Ravens, you got the Bills, you got the Chiefs, you got everybody else, bro. And I'm so happy that the Ravens did what they did. I'm super happy that the Bills did what they did, because now they get to meet next week in what I feel is going to be the most hyped, most talked about, most featured divisional round game of all time. There will be a race riot next week, dog. Y'all people, bro, just like stay in the house, board up your windows. You feel me? If you got guns, hold on to them, bro. It is going to be a fucking riot next week, man.
It's going to be a purge, man. Watch out.
It's going to be a purge, man.
Watch out,
Listen. There's Lamar Jackson haters that were hate watching Lamar Jackson, rooting for the Steelers to win. There are Josh Allen haters that were rooting for the Broncos to win. I'm happy that I'm honest. I'm so happy that neither side won, because that would have robbed us from what we deserve to have, which is going to be keep saying Broncos, Ravens, Bills next week in Buffalo, man. But we got a lot to get down to. We got a lot to react to, man. So you know how we do, man. First things first, like, comment. Make sure that you're very active in the chat. We want to make sure that we get all the comments. We want to make sure that everybody is part of the conversation. We don't just want to talk. We want to talk to y'all. That's first and foremost. So everybody in the chat, make sure you leave some comments. We got Packer fans. We got Steelers fans. You got fake Raven fans like me. You feel me? Since week 8, man. Holla at your boy. I got drafted. You feel me? We got all the haters of of all kinds of teams, bro. So we want every kind of opinion that everybody has. We want everybody to be a part of this conversation today specifically, man. So where do you want to start? Because we have a lot to get to.
You know what, Herb? What I would say is, first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody. We made it to 500 subs, baby. I'm sorry. You got to throw that out there, man. Appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing it without the people, man. We ain't doing it without the people, bro. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for showing love, man. It means a lot. It means a lot, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Most definitely,
but,
man.
Herb, I mean, you know, Herbie, I know you wanted to start with the Steelers and the Ravens to, you know, it was the most interesting game. But I just gotta say something about the Chargers, bro.
Man, go. Hey, we can start there, man. Let's fuck it. We can start there, bro. We can start there, man. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Oh,
boom.
Man.
We have so many ways to discuss this game, bro. So let's get it out the game. That was the first game of Wild Card Weekend. And the people who picked that game and put that game, and when they put that game, knew these are two teams that nobody actually gives a fuck about. These are two teams that nobody actually takes serious. And what we got, especially for a half, was some of the worst playoff football that I have ever seen, bro. Like, there's so many ways to take this conversation in regards to the Chargers and Texans. Chief among them being, both teams are ass. I'm sorry. They're both ass. Don't let that score fool you. Justin Herbert being a BBL in a Chargers uniform had so much to do with that final score and Texas getting 32 points because 14 of those points came from his pick sixes, dog. If we could go, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't want to hijack, bro. Rod, the floor is yours, dog.
No, you know what, Herbie, it seems like to me, and I don't know if anybody in the chat agrees. It seems to me like Herb got a little bit to get off his chest. My boy, go ahead, cook,
No,
man,
no,
cook.
no, no, no. You go first because I'm going scorched earth on the Chargers. I'm going scorched earth. Like, and they put me in an impossible position, dog. The whole city of Los Angeles is literally burning. And that's who their representative was, the LA Chargers. Like, where's your pride, dog? Your city's on fire, bruh. And y'all did that? Where is your pride? You had a city to play for, dog. Like,
they ain't got it, man.
Where is your pride, dog?
They like, got it, Herb.
Rod, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, so I was gonna talk about the Texans, Herbie, but I got 2 points to make about the Chargers, Herbie, just 2, and I know I'll let you cook on them. First point I'm gonna make, Herbie, Jim Harbaugh. Herbie, I'm gonna go on a little soliloquy here. I've met all kinds of men in my life who are married, bro. I've met maybe primarily 2 types of men who are married, right? You got the guy who, when he talks about his wife, he talks like he's, when he gets off work or when he leaves the bar or when he leaves the boys, that he's going to jail. He talks like he's going to go home to suffer, right? Those are those guys. The other half are the guys who talk about their wives like they're their best friends. Like, yo, I love my wife, man. My wife is a shit. I've met those guys. Like, I've seen both sides. Herbie, in yesterday's game, when I looked at Jim Harbaugh on the sideline, especially in the second half, really the fourth quarter of that game, Jim Harbaugh looked like a guy who, from afar, that I know, had somebody, a neighbor, a friend, a homegirl, fucking walk up to him. He's the guy who loves his wife. They're best friends. And that person is showing him receipts on the cell phone. And you watch his face and he's looking like, what the fuck? Like, just betrayed. Like, Jim Harbaugh had the look of a man who was betrayed, Herbie, because he came in, he spent the entire fucking season building this identity, building this culture for the Chargers, just for the moment to arrive, the moment for them to prove themselves, Herbie, and they pooped all over themselves. The Chargers just completely pooped all over themselves, Herbie. And Jim Harbaugh had a front row seat. Herbie, I don't know if I ever seen a coach look that sick, bro.
But you gotta understand, right? Okay, so I don't want to. There's 2 teams that played, and again, like what we're trying to do in this episode. What we're trying to do for anybody that's in the chat, what we're trying to do this episode is we're trying to make sure that we give credit to the winning team and then have a take as to why the losing team lost, right? Some conversations are going to lean more one way, more the other. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, this conversation is going to be leaning way to the Chargers side. And again, I know fan bases hate when you don't give their teams credit. I'm sorry. I don't know shit about the Texans. I'm not a Texans fan. I watched the game. We're gonna give y'all props. We're gonna give them the props though, right? So how about this? Let's start with the props first because I know we're gonna spend way more time on the Chargers side. So let's get the Texans side out of the way. What do you have to say about the Texans?
So Herbie, first of all, I can say 2 things about the Texans, Herbie. I got one nice thing to say, and I got one not nice thing to say, right? The nice thing that I can say is that the Texans defense, Herbie, they're like, that is a playoff elite caliber fucking defense. Because look, the Chargers looked as bad on offense as we've seen them look all season long. Imagine, Herbie, Justin Herbert threw 3 interceptions the entire season. Justin Herbert is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw more picks in one playoff game than his entire season. He's the first. He's got to be the first. I can say that with confidence. There's no way anybody else accomplished that, Herbie. So you look at the way that they just completely ravaged the Chargers on every level on their offense. The Chargers have a good offensive line, Herbie. Stood no chance against Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, Danico Autry and them boys. They were ravaging them boys all day. Like fucking Herbert was under duress the entire afternoon, right? And then when you came to look at the receivers, Herbie, outside of Ladd McConkey, the Chargers receivers couldn't get open. Lassiter was locking shit down. Derek Stingley was locking shit down. Their secondary was sticky like glue. And the one thing that I love to see, Herbie, and I know, most people probably couldn't stand watching that Chargers and Texans game, and it was an ugly game to watch. But for me, how my eyes viewed it, I was just looking at two defensive teams that were just two. I was looking at two offenses that were outmatched completely by the defenses. That's how it looked to me. And it just like the Chargers just looked so inept against whatever the Texans threw at them. The Texans defense dictated everything. They took it to them boys. They attacked them. And the Chargers they shriveled up, Herbie. The receivers couldn't get open. The offensive linemen couldn't block to save their lives. And in return, Justin Herbert went on to have one of the worst games you'll ever see a top flight quarterback fucking throw. And when I say top flight, like upper part of the league, he's not in that big class, right? Of the big four. He's not on that level. But Herbert's one of the better quarterbacks in football. And the Texans, Herbie, at home is specifically, they made a lot of guys look bad. MVP Josh Allen, who just ransacked the top 5 defense in the Broncos, they made him look pedestrian. Jared Goff threw 5 picks in that building. Tua threw 3 picks in that building. So Justin Herbert is just another guy who just got added to the list, right? Outside of really Mahomes and Lamar, no one really got off against them boys, which just speaks volumes to how elite of a unit they are. On the other end, Herbie, I also want to give credit to CJ Stroud a little bit, bro, because listen, shit was ugly for him, and the defense really helped them out, obviously, in this game. But shit was ugly for the Texans early on, Herbie. They couldn't get anything going. They were down 6-0 early. But credit to CJ Stroud, he made just enough plays, Herbie. He made a scramble at the end of the half to make to a fucking awesome throw. All right, he hit Nico Collins on a 37-yarder. Like, even though CJ Stroud didn't really have the best game, he looked about as mid. Well, no, Justin Herbert looked terrible, but CJ Stroud didn't impress per se. But he made enough plays to get the Texans through, right? And that's all you can ask from your quarterback. He's 2-0 in the playoffs. I think there's only a couple other rookies that have that kind of record. So, I wanted to give the Texans their props in that regard. On the other hand, Herbie, this is it. This is where it stops. Because Herbie, if there is any result in the postseason that would shock me, is if the Texans went into Kansas City and beat Kansas City with a healthy Mahomes.
That would be
this
crazy.
Is where it stops for them. This is where it stops for them, right?
100%.
This is where it stops.
Like,
this is where it stops.
This is where it stopped last year. This is where it's going to stop this year again, right? So,
yeah,
this is what I want to do, because I think I'm going to come back around with my Justin Herbert talk, right? Because I want to give people what they want. I want to give people the people that they actually want to talk about, which is Ravens, Bills, the actual teams that people really give a fuck.
The heavyweight fight, man.
The heavyweight fights. Trust me, I am coming back to go scorched earth on Justin Herbert, because that guy is a. I've been working on my breathing exercises. My imaginary therapist says, Herb, you have to breathe. You have to breathe when you think about the people that take money out of your pocket because you bet on them and they lose 32-12 in a fucking play.